It scared me.
Sorry.
Now, I'm a viewer, not a director, but for me, there are really two kinds of films.
Ideas flowing.
The first kind you watch, you feel something in the moment, but by the time you're on the way home from the cinema, you've already half forgotten it. Then there are films that divide audiences and still feel familiar in form. Then there's Mother, which falls under a third category which we rarely get to experience. When Darren Aronofsky's film dropped in 2017, it completely torched the room. Viewers actually gave it a rare F cinema score, which for any genre is pretty bad. This reaction wasn't accidental, it's exactly what the film is designed to provoke. Mother isn't really a film you just watch. It's a film that happens to you once you understand what Aronofsky is actually doing with its shocking allegory. That experience shifts into something entirely different. The first thing to understand about Mother is its cosmology, the internal logic of Aronofsky's universe. Once you lock onto it, everything else falls into place. The world of this film is the house itself. That's it, plain and simple. There is a meadow behind the house, and beyond that, some undefined elsewhere for which people eventually arrive. But the film has no interest in that elsewhere. The film is the house, and the house is the world. More specifically, the house is the earth. And the woman renovating it, Jennifer Lawrence's character, credited only as Mother, is also Mother Nature herself. This isn't subtext, it's the entire text. Notice how Mother never leaves the house, not once. Because the earth doesn't leave the earth. Notice how she presses her hands against the walls and sees a beating heartbeat. That's how the heart's condition mirrors her own emotional state exactly. She and the house are not two separate things. They are one. They are always one. Her husband, Javier Bardem, credited only as him, is God, or at least a god. Just some sort of creator. He refers to himself with the phrase, I am I, a direct echo of the Hebrew name for God, I am who I am. His study is upstairs, close to the heavens. His mind presides over his own creation, and crucially, like the God of many traditions, he's an artist who needs an audience. Keeping that in mind, because that need, that insatiable need to be worshipped, is where everything begins to fracture. At the center of this film is a relationship between three forces: God, Mother Nature, and humanity, and its vicious triangle. Mother Nature, our protagonist, played by Jennifer Lawrence, only wants one thing. She wants to be with her creator and to be left alone. That's it, because here's the uncomfortable truth the film keeps insisting on. The natural world doesn't need humanity. Humanity needs the natural world. The earth thrives within us. We cannot survive without it. But God doesn't really care about Mother Nature as an end in herself. He created the earth as a stage, a beautiful functional stage, for his real obsession, which is humanity. The humans who will arrive and worship him, read his work, adore him. The earth is infrastructure, the earth is the venue, and he treats it accordingly. But humanity loves God and worships God, will literally tear the world apart to get a piece of him. But the earth that sustains them, they couldn't really care any less. So here's a dynamic. God exploits Mother Nature to create something for humans to inhabit. Humanity exploits Mother Nature to sustain themselves, and Mother Nature gives and gives and gives and gives to both of them until there is nothing left for her to give. She is the only one in this triangle receiving nothing and losing pretty much everything, like her baby. This is a political argument of this entire film. And what the director does is he smuggles it inside a biblical allegory. The first two acts of Mother map almost beat for beat onto the opening chapters of the Genesis. Ed Harris arrives at the house, a stranger, a man who says he's a doctor, but is really just a dying fan wanting to meet his idol. He's Adam, the first human, and the wound on his back, the wound in his ribcage, is not accidental at all. That is the rib that God removed to create the first woman. And right on cue, Michelle Pfeiffer's character arrives. She is Eve, curious and probating, utterly uninterested in the boundaries she's been asked to respect. Both of them are told repeatedly not to touch the crystal on the display in the study. It is sacred and forbidden, and they, of course, break it. You know the story. And then their sons arrive, the Gleason brothers, and one grows jealous of what the other one has, being promised in the will. He strikes his brother in the head and his brother dies. Cain and Abel, rendered with a horrible mundane literalism. The blood soaks into the floor of the house, and the earth, forms a wound. This is a moment the film pivots, because what starts as biblical allegory now becomes something more contemporary and more damning. After the death of Abel, people start arriving, slowly at first, then all at once, filling the house, demanding more space and breaking the furniture, tearing pieces of the walls as souvenirs, and him welcoming all of them, every single one, because this is what the world he made for does. This sequence represents the whole sweep of human history compressed into one nightmarish afternoon. Crowds form factions turn violent. What I really liked about Christian Witt's character, which was a publisher representing institutional religious authority, executes dissenters into pistols. People argue over whose interpretation of his book is correct while the house crumbles around them, meaning that there's no point discussing. It is relentless, and it is meant to be, because Aronofsky isn't being subtle here. He's saying plainly that the history of humanity on this planet is a history of people who love God and love religion and love doctrine, and simply use that love as justification to consume every source, ignoring every warning and treating the earth itself as expandable. Mother moves through all of this like a ghost in her own home. Nobody even listens to her, which is a point. Nobody cares what she says. At one point, a few people are painting the house, trying to help. She tells them to stop. They look confused. They thought they were doing something good. That small moment is maybe the sharpest thing in the entire film, because it is us. It is every small gesture we make, the recycling bin, the reusable bag, the 2-minute shower, while the larger machine of consumption grinds untouched. We tell ourselves that we're helping, but the earth does not agree.